हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू गुडीज़ विंग्स। जैसा कि आप सभी का डिमांड था कि स्टोरी इंग्लिश में भी डाला जाए, तो आज मैं इंग्लिश में स्टोरी लेकर आई हूँ। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। हु इज़ आवर ट्रू गाइड इन लाइफ, with whose help we can take the right decision at every moment? स्टोरी का नाम है 3 pieces of advice. Man chooses things or makes his decisions through his inner radar, which is his heart. Once upon a time, a young newly-wed couple lived in a small farm far away. They were poor and had no means of earning their livelihood. One day, the newly married man thought of leaving that field and going somewhere far away to find a job. He said to his wife, "Dear, I want to go somewhere far to earn money, and I promise to come back with a lot of money so that we can live with all the amenities that we deserve. I don't know when I will come back, but please wait for me and be faithful to me, and I will also remain loyal to you." Now the young man travels to many distant villages and cities in search of work. Then, in a village, he meets a wealthy merchant who was looking for a hard-working man for his work. The young man expresses his desire to work with that merchant, and he too easily takes the young man in to work with him. However, before starting his work, the young man puts forward some conditions. "I will work as long as I want, and whenever I feel that I have to go home, please relieve me of my duties. I won't take any salary during my work duration. Keep my salary safe with you while I work with you. The day I leave, please hand over all my money to me." The merchant agreed to all the conditions of the young man. The young man started working diligently. After a duration of 20 long years, one day the same young man came to his boss and said, "Sir, I want to leave now. I have to return home now. Can I get my wages?" The merchant replied, "Sure, but before you leave, I want to say something. I can either pay you the wages for the number of years you have worked, or I can give you 3 pieces of advice for your life and send you without any money. You have to choose which of these you want." The man asked for some time to think. The man thought hard for 2 days and chose 3 advices instead of his salary. The merchant reminded him that if he asks for advice, he won't get any money. The man replied, "I have worked with you for a long time. While working with you, I have learned a lot and acquired proficiency in a lot of new things. This experience will take me further in life, and that's why I only need 3 advices." So the merchant gave him 3 pieces of advice. 1. Never take an unfair path or shortcut in your life. Such paths can even kill you. Second, never be too anxious or impatient for anything, because such impatience towards bad things can be fatal. Third, never take a decision in moments of anger or pain, as it can lead you to a wrong decision and then you will have to repent for your mistake. Then the boss handed him 3 loaves of bread and said, "You have 3 pieces of bread. You can consume 2 of them during your journey and keep the last one with you till you reach home and share it with your wife." The man thanked the merchant and after many years started his journey to meet his wife. On the first day of his journey, he meets an old man who greets him and asks, "Where are you going?" To which the person replies, "I need to walk for 20 days to reach where I am going." On this, the old man advises that person to take a shorter path and says, "By adopting this path, you will reach your destination in just 5 days." The man the man wanted to reach homes as soon as possible, so he started thinking of taking a shorter route. But then he remembered the first advice from his boss. Following the merchant advice, he chose to walk the long way to reach home. A few days later, he came to know that robbers trick people into taking the shorter route, and when the travelers proceed on the shorter route, they ambush them and rob them of all their belongings. The man thought that the merchant's first advice had saved him from a calamity. After traveling like this for a few more days, he stopped at an inn on the side of the road, and since it was dark, he thought of resting there for the whole night. After washing his hands and feet, he went to sleep on the bed. But within some time, he woke up hearing a terrible scream. He was just about to open the door and leave when he remembered the second part of the merchant's advice and went back to his bed to sleep. The next morning, he told the owner of the inn about the incident and got a very shocking reply from him. The owner said, "You are lucky that you did not open the door out of curiosity like the other guests, and so you are alive. We have heard that during the night a demon shouts to attract the attention of passers by, and when curious guests come out and see them, he drags them to the forest and kills them." The man thanked God and thought that "I am alive today because of the merchant's second advice." The man started his journey again to reach his destination. After walking for a few days, he was finally very close to his home. As he approached his home, he saw from the window that his wife was not alone and that she was accompanied by a man. And she was gently caressing his hair. The man's heart was filled with anger and vengeance, and thoughts of killing them both started rising in his mind. But then he remembers the third and last advice given by his boss and consoles himself with a deep breath and thinks that he will sit quietly and reflect on the incident. He falls asleep in a nearby bus that night. In the morning, when he calmly contemplates on the incident, he comes to the decision that he will not kill his wife and her lover. He will go back to the merchant and walk there for the rest of his life. The man thought that before leaving he should meet his wife once and tell her how loyal he had been to her over the years. The man reached the door and knocked. When his wife opened the door, she was very excited to see her husband, and tears of joy started flowing down her eyes. When his wife embraces him happily, the man pushes her away and his eyes fill with tears. He asks, "Who is the man you were with last night?" She replies, "He's your son. When you were gone, I found out that I'm pregnant. Now your son is 20 years old." On hearing this, the man started crying and thanked his boss from his heart for giving him the right advice. Then the man hugged his son. They all sat down and talked a lot. They shared their experiences with each other. In the end, the man also spoke about the three pieces of advice from the merchant. Then he put the last loaf of bread on the table and said, "All this I have earned in the last 20 years." Then, at the time of dinner, everyone prayed to God together and started eating that last piece of bread. As soon as the wife tore off the last piece of bread, she found that it had gold coins, which were worth much more than his 20 years' earnings. All this was the result of the man's truthfulness, faith in God, and hard work. Listen to the heart and let it be your inner guide. The heart will always tell the truth and guide the right way. The heart is a scared. The heart is a sacred place, and it shows us the door to the vast inner universe, the way to wonder and knowledge. Through the knowledge of the heart, we can live in ease and joy. Daji. So, thank you so much, friends.